meetings. No, she missed a couple meetings.
Yeah, she's okay. She's okay.
It wasn't Oregon.
Ready? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jefferson County Board of Tourism. You all be so kind to stand up. We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all for being here this evening, and would like to acknowledge Victoria Perry, who was previously on the Jefferson County Board of Tourism. She was our vice president. She was an exceptional asset to this board, and we're so grateful to have her back. So thank you for being on our board. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Oh, just glad to be back, working with all of you guys again. It's an exciting time for Madison and the county, so.
It is. It is. We always try to do, and I think I mentioned last week, we will want to do projects and partnerships for the August grant cycle recipients here. And, you know, everybody has a life. I'll read off those applicants. I'll share with you the ask, share with you what that organization will receive. Please understand that you need to write an invoice, type up an invoice, email an invoice to Dave Bramer. Dave will take that and send it to Heather Huff, and she'll cut the check or communicate with you all how you obtain those funds. So that's how you receive the funds. Do you have anything to add on that, Dave? Okay. Anybody else have anything to add thus far? Okay, let's move on to projects and partnerships. Out of courtesy to each organization, and I mean, Jim said it last week, the fun thing about this in August, fun thing in March is there's so many talented people and so many wonderful organizations in this community that have great ideas, and you all move the needle. And the crappy part about being over here is we have X amount of funds. We have people that all need this money. Every applicant is justifiable, and we have to have discussions and feel we have to do the best we can and be the best stewards with this money that we see fit at the time, right? So we had 105,000 available for August. Right out of the gate, we are given $45,000 to the Ohio Theater Screen Project. We feel like that's a good investment for an infrastructure project, and we feel like that'll put us in a good position to have more heads and beds as they continue to attract and recruit. Applicant number 2 was Enrichment Foundation Canaan Fall Festival. Your request is $25,116. We're going to award you all $3,500 right now. One of the reasons $1,000 to rent for one more year, and we did have $2,500 to partner with BMI and use for marketing for this upcoming year. But we would also, knowing that that's a smaller mobile venue, we would like for you guys to or stage, I'm sorry, we would like for you guys to talk to other small festivals and see if they also need something like that, because that is an infrastructure project. We like investing in those things that the community can use, right? And you know, you guys do a fantastic job. That's not up for debate or conversation at all. We just would like to see you guys come back and say, hey, yeah, there are 5 or 6, 7 other smaller festivals that could also use this. We all can. What do you think now? So, and I know the cities doesn't make sense to rent because it's too big for what you guys are doing. We understand that. Applicant 3, Black History Month exhibit. The ask was $2,490. we're awarding $2,490. Applicant 4, Madison Chautauqua, was $10,000 request. We're awarding $10,000. Applicant 5, Mad Hot Music Festival, request was for $41,000. We took a look at the economic impact calculator, took a look at the STAR report, took a look at the placer data, and we felt like that we needed to allocate those funds during this cycle of $15,000. We felt like a $15,000 investment would be an appropriate investment right now. Applicant number 6, nights before Christmas, requested $8,000. We also talked to Andrew and take a look at the placer data, STAR report, economic impact calculator. We felt like their return on investment of unique visitors for those 2 weekends, they requested $8,000. We're awarding $8,000. Applicant number 7, Madison Area Art Alliance, requested $11,000. We took a look at those painters that'll be in here. They're out of town. They're staying here for 3 or 4 nights. We did the math. It made sense to award them $11,000. Applicant 8, Jefferson County Historic Society, had a great conversation today with Jared. They asked for, was it 6? I'm sorry, 62.5. We're awarding them with 10. We awarded them $10,000 in March. We're awarding them $10,000 here in August. Had a great conversation with him, Jared, today, and Elizabeth has volunteered her expertise. Matt Chandler has volunteered his expertise to meet with them, to be a little more business oriented, business minded. And if you all have an opportunity to ever go to the Jefferson County Historic Society, I had the privilege to go there. I would take a moment to go do it. It's fascinating how hard John works and how hard Jared works and what they have to do to get that thing going and running. We just want them to have, be more mindful of a business direction. And we feel like Matt and we feel like Elizabeth can really help them with that. We would encourage them to come back in March. But for right now, we feel like they have a few things that they need to alter and tweak to be the best version of themselves that they can be. So right now, those are our projects and partnerships. Do you all have anything else to add?
I think the biggest thing, again, most everybody is not going home with the dollars that they came in asking for. But we've given y'all some direction, and the direction is again, not based on a slap on the hand, but rather encouragement, because all of the projects are great projects to enhance and to come back with bigger and better. And next year, let's go for the gusto. Let's get bigger and better and move forward and come back with that much stronger of a project and show more than what we've shown this year, because everything that everybody's doing is stronger than what they were doing last year. And everybody here is coming in with big stuff. Big stuff.
Jim, thank you. Again, you all don't have to stay here. If you choose not to, you're obviously more than welcome to stay as long as you want. But you won't be disrespectful. We've given out the projects and partnerships. We've awarded the requests, and thank you all again for turning in your applications. Board, let's go ahead and move on to approval of minutes.
Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely.
Sure, John. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Everyone have an opportunity to take a look at the minutes that Rini sent out from July 20th, 2026. If you have, we could make a motion.
I make the motion, we approve it as presented or submitted.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Motion carries. Moving on to the treasurer's report, Dr. David Bramer, attorney at law.
Anyway, for July, the innkeeper's tax was $114,444.05.
That's a lot.
That's awesome.
14% over what, from last,
Again,
$114,444.05.
all
So,
those fours.
I know it.
Got.
Four fours all in a row.
Pretty good.
Yes, and so for the year, we have $616,353.20.
Say it again, Dave, I wouldn't listen. I'm sorry, I apologize.
$616,000.
Victoria was saying something to me.
Yeah, $616,353.20 for the year. We have two claims. One is for VMI marketing, which is $7,726.29. And the other one is for the additional operation expense for $45,000 that we approved. So we just split it up into two.
Would anyone like to make a motion for the treasurer's report and the VMI claims?
I can make a motion that we accept the treasurer's report and the two VMI claims.
Have a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Dave, thank you, as always. Motion carries. Moving on to VMI update and the VMI marketing update from Andrew Forrest.
All right, well, thank you. I think you got both my report and Sarah's today. Made sure to email it to you. You can look through the details of those. One thing I do want to highlight is the FAM tour that we had, and what a great opportunity that was. Really appreciate the Board of Tourism support for that. It took a lot, and Sarah put a ton of work and time. I know she worked with a number of you to get all of those moving pieces together, but we had over 13 restaurants, cafes, sweet treat businesses, 3 historic sites, Madison Trolley Line, Rock and Thunder River Tour, hiking at Clifty Falls, a creative experience, Little Golden Fox, a visit to approximately 8 downtown shops, and then they explored on their own. And so we've already started getting feedback from them about that tour. And again, this was for them to write stories and articles about Madison. There's already been one thing that's come out, Yahoo News picked it up. It was Charming River Towns, and that came out. And then Sarah has gotten 3 more requests from these media members for more pictures, video, things like that. So they're working on things. Again, this was a part of a project with Visit Indiana, Indiana Destination Development Corporation. And they have a PR firm that is tracking all of this as well. And so they're going to be able to give us how many people saw these articles, where they were in. We don't have to keep track of all that on our own. So again, really appreciate the support, the Board of Tourism for that. I think that's going to pay huge dividends as we see those articles come out over the coming months and year. So that's the main thing that Sarah wanted me to bring up. We are working on a 27 marketing strategy, major event planning. I'm gonna try and meet with Matt to talk about, that, because I know he's laser focused on the marketing. And so then we're gonna talk with him, bring it all to you guys as we plan a strategy for 2027 and beyond. So working on that. She's in full Chautauqua marketing execution mode, planning for Nights Before Christmas, and doing a number of other things that are all there in the report. So you can see that. For me, the things that I want to highlight, and unless you have any questions about Sarah's in particular.
Now, I just want to say, because I was a part of the FAM tour,
Yes.
Sarah, the amount of effort that Sarah put into it was incredible. And the feedback from the writers, they could not have been more impressed with Madison. It was, I think it really, when he says it was important and special, it truly was.
Yes, it
I
was.
really think that we're gonna see a lot of dividends from this.
And Andrew, you forgot one. There's one on Instagram from,
Yeah.
I don't ever know how to say this. Voters Travel, is that what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yes, I don't.
But it's the
yeah.
same girl, so she had a story that got picked up by Yahoo, but then there's also an Instagram post that is just doing great things. We've gotten traction from that, we've shared it a few times already, so it's already really doing great things.
It's been huge, and, you know, some of it's the media, some of it, Sarah was very intentional on, what she put together for the media members. And she was, right before they got here, she was putting together customized photo and video packages that she put on a USB drive, that she put in their welcome bags, knowing what they like, you know, if one person writes about girls' weekends, she was putting a bunch of girls' weekend type itineraries in on that flash drive for them. If they like outdoors, she was putting a lot of Clifty stuff, so she was already customizing stuff before they even asked, and they got back and plugged it in their computer and they were like, oh my gosh, nobody does this
Yeah.
for us, and so they were really impressed, and it was all of our partners. I mean, you know, partners made us shine too. They came to HMI, they were at River Oak Chop House, they came up to Clifty, and it was the partners that helped make the visit shine. So, yeah, it was great. Very positive. As far as my report, good news to report. Obviously, you heard it on the innkeeper's tax collections. The placer numbers, I sent you the monthly report again, so you can see, for the month, up again 10% over last year, or up 6%, month over month, 10% now over year. And then according to Placer, and this comes with all the caveats that Placer comes with, it's not an exact science, there's all kinds of things, assumptions. But July was our highest visited month since they started tracking it in 2019. As far as number of visitors to Madison and Jefferson County. I pulled it up, I checked a couple different ways on this report, and I think it's in there. I tried to print it with the graph, but you can see it go back to in January of 2019, and you see where it bumps up each month, and the big months, usually it's Chautauqua, it's Regatta, and so those are the months that are high. This July stood above all of them, so that's really impressive. There's something we're very happy with, seeing some of those numbers up. And it follows, STR is showing that our reporting properties are up 14%, for the year. So it has a much lower number when it puts in the algorithm for all of the hotels, but I tend to think we're closer to what the reporting properties show. So, so anyway, that's most of my report. We didn't make Hallmark's Christmas Town the top 25, was extremely disappointed. There was kind of, when we got up that morning, we checked the website, we were all really bummed in the office, because we did a lot for that. We obviously emailed all of you, you sent in your stories, we targeted certain businesses, certain organizations to say, hey, tell your Christmas story. And then we blasted out to everybody else to say, tell your Christmas story. And I know there were a lot of really good ones submitted, and that's just disappointing we didn't make it, but we'll keep plugging away. What we put together, we did a nice video for it. I think we're still gonna use it in our Christmas marketing.
Good.
So stay tuned on that. I'm sure you'll see it at some point. So, and then I did get a chance to go this last month, out to Destinations International, the national conference out in Portland. That was a great experience, and made even better by the fact that I got a scholarship for it that paid for everything except about $500 worth. So that was a great experience to be there with destination professionals from all over the world, and got to hear a lot about trends, AI, and common issues. A lot of the things that we're dealing with here, everybody's dealing with across the country. Worrying about technology, worrying about, you know, are these numbers accurate? Is Placer, you know, accurate? Are all these new data points? How do we put them all together to know whether what we're doing is effective? It's something everybody's struggling with and working through. So in some ways, it's it validates some of the concerns, but it also validates that I'm not the only one struggling with it. We're trying to figure it out along with everybody else, so. That was great, got to support Miss Madison team while I was out west too, and, just hearing people talk about Miss Madison and their connections to Madison. I can't tell you how many people walked up to me and said, I was there in 1971, I came to Madison, I haven't been back to Madison since, but I'd like to come back. And so there's a lot of history, tied to the West Coast, and, I think it was good that I brought a case of guides and we had people picking them up and saying, oh, I need to go back to Madison. So it's a different market than what we're used to, but especially with the hydroplane history, I think it was good to be there. Bring that back to the team. You know, originally it was conceived of as being a way to advertise Madison when the team traveled. And so I'm glad that we're bringing that back. So. Any questions for me?
Andrew, is there any other data out there that we need to be taking a look at, or is Placer, Economic Star, is that kind of what fits our mold right now?
Those pretty much fit our mold. There's a few other people tracking companies that there's like Datafy. It's another one. I can't think of the name of the company right now, but some of them are very tourism based. Placer is a little different because they aren't as much focused on tourism. They're more made for businesses, restaurants, retail. They use Placer a lot. But we've been able to get the information from it that I think helps. You know, I could make an argument for a couple different programs that might be different to switch to. I don't know that they'd be better. They might be better in some areas, not as much. I don't know right now that there's another technology we need. I just think it's gonna be constantly paying attention to, is Placer the best, giving us the data that we need? Arrivalist is the other one. And Arrivalist has really good feedback, especially for hotels. So it's just something I wanna keep an eye on, cause at some point, maybe Placer isn't the thing to keep doing.
But you going out to Portland makes, a lot of sense, the newest, latest and the greatest. People would have booths out there and they're like, you gotta use me, and it doesn't sound like we need to invest in that. Right?
No, AirDNA had a booth, and of course I use AirDNA.
Yeah.
Placer had a representative there. There were some other interesting advertising opportunities. One of them is Carvertise, and they are the ones that place advertisements on like Ubers in different markets. So let's say we want to pick Super Bowl weekend or whatever, if they're gonna have the Super Bowl in Indianapolis, and we just plaster a bunch of Visit Madison, Indiana on all these Ubers, travel all over the city. Then they have ways, kind of like what you're seeing and what Sarah's doing with these videos, and tracking how many people that actually saw those, then ended up in your community. That's where some of the technology is going right now, is being able to see who's seen those, who's been near them, and then do they end up in your community. So got to talk to some of those, like Carvertise, I think is out of our budget for marketing, but it's a cool opportunity that if we can put together some kind of a package of something that makes sense, we come to you guys and we say, hey, this is a neat opportunity, let's give it a try. So that's part of the marketing strategizing that we're doing for 27. That was just an example. I don't think we're actually gonna do the Carvertise thing, but there were a number of different vendors like that we're talking about all their capabilities, and it's cool. It's kind of creepy too.
It's scary, yeah.
It's creepy. And I've told people before, a Placer, it makes you want to throw your device in the river
Oh, yeah.
if you think about it too long. So just don't think about it. Yeah. So.
Anybody have any questions for Andrew? Thank you all for always coming in each month and sharing with us updates and provide us opportunities to ask questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. Moving on to Tourism Alliance Committee update.
Our next meeting is September 9th. It will be at the Madison Chamber. We are kicking off that next session which I think, hold on, I should have looked. It says in your email, and Victoria, I will swap you in there
Thank you.
shortly. But we're doing a focused day this round. It's QR codes in hotels, Airbnbs for weekend to-dos, 365 efforts, and community calendar, tourism calendar, and then the brand evolution. So that's kind of what we're focusing on. There's technically 4 rail items, but they're all from that same group. And we are gonna talk about that at the next meeting. And if you have questions, if you know someone needs to be on the list, just let me know.
Yes, at the chamber, what time again?
9 o'clock, sorry, 9 to 11 is the goal.
And board, if any of us have the opportunity to stop in there 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, that's always helpful. Yes, thank you. Future meeting, our next meeting is September 21st. And would anyone like to have any more discussions? Meeting adjourned.